A fiery horse at the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver, the Lone Ranger. In the early days of the western United States, outlaws roamed the territory. Usually working in small bands, they attacked small ranches, running off cattle and stealing whatever they could get their hands on. But occasionally, an outlaw with a gift of leadership became ambitious. He welcomed new recruits until his band became a small army. He was then able to not only defy the local sheriff, but government troops as well. The Hawk was such a man, and his meeting with the masked rider of the plains is one of the most exciting episodes in the history of the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! We're heading south for the border. The Hawk's been seen near Dover. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
Our story begins in the little town of Preston, where the Army post is located. Mary Wilson, the daughter of the fort's major, has just arrived at the home of Matt and Bess Badger for dinner. Matt is an engineer on the town's railroad, and he's on his way home for his one-day-a-week evening at home.
Mary, it's so good to have you over for dinner. Matt and I are so glad you met our son. Speaking of my son, where is he?
Need you ask? The trainer's in town. Dale spends every moment he has up in that engine.
Oh, that boy. He wants to be a railroad man just like his pa.
Well, he'd be a real good one. He's shown me all the controls and he knows how to use all of them. Don't tell his pa that. He took me on a ride last week when the train was here overnight.
Well, I guess there's no stopping him. He's definitely got railroading in his blood. So, how are you liking it here at the fort?
Oh, I love it. After my ma died, I vowed that I'd move out here to be with Father as soon as I finished school. He's not happy about it, but I'm 18 and there's nothing he can do about it.
Hi, honey. Hi, Mary.
Oh, hello, Mr. Badger.
Shucks, Mary, call me Matt. I wouldn't know who you was talking to if you called me Mr. Badger. Hi, Ma, what's for supper? Where's Dale?
Oh, I reckon he's down at...
Down at the fort. He's been helping out at the stables.
Well, I hope he gets here soon. I'm hungry.
Oh, it sure feels good having you home, Matt. Sometimes I get so lonesome. I wish you weren't working for the railroad.
Bess, you ain't no more happy to see me here than I am to be here.
But it ain't just being lonesome. If it were railroading back east where things were all safe, I'd likely not mind so much. But here with the Indians and the hold-up men, I'm thinking of you in that cab of your engine, in the mountains and the steep canyon, and you're likely to run off the track. I can't sleep half the time thinking of it.
Oh, honey, it ain't near as bad as you make out.
And our boy thinking of railroading all the time, saying he's going to be an engineer as soon as a company will take him on.
He'll have to be a fireman first. He needs to learn all the controls besides.
Well, that ain't no safer.
Well, really, Matt, Dale already knows every control on that engine.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Mary. I just heard some news. Big news.
Dale, where you been?
Oh, just watching the train pull in from Dover.
Pa's been asking for you, and it's not polite for you to invite Mary for dinner and then not be here when she arrives.
I'm sorry, Mary, but wait till you hear what I heard.
Reckon it's something big, seeing you're all out of breath.
It is. Just listen to this. The Hawk is on this side of the border.
The Hawk?
Him and all his men. They say there must be 200-300 of them.
Who's the Hawk?
Why, he's the worst scum in all the West.
You think he's coming this way?
Oh, don't you worry, Ma. He wouldn't do that with all the soldiers there is at the fort. Not them fellas. Nope. Word is, they were seen heading for Dover.
Good Lord.
Those poor folks up there.
What the Hawk crossed the border for?
Oh, he had a fight with the soldiers on the other side and lost. He came to this side to get away from them.
Somebody ought to get that fella and string him up by the neck.
He calls himself a general, don't he?
Yeah, he hires every border cutthroat and breed there is and calls himself an army. But that don't keep them from being just a bunch of murdering outlaws. Just 'cause he likes to call himself a general don't make him one. He's no more than a low-down thieving outlaw.
Oh, you should have seen the commotion at the fort when the news come in.
Is the major going after him?
You bet. He's got to. If the Hawk raids Dover, he'll wipe out all the folks up there.
Oh, I'd better go and see my father off then. I'll see y'all later.
Bye, Mary.
Bye, Mary. They won't have a chance. Oh, dear. Now who is it?
Come in. Oh, howdy, Herb.
Matt, grab your coat and hat. You and me are taking the train to Dover. I've got the steam in the engine just waiting to pull out.
But this is Matt's day off.
Oh, it don't make no bit of difference there, ma'am. These are Army orders. We're hauling soldiers up to the mountains so they can get after that Hawk. Well, you better hurry, Matt.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Pa, can I come?
I should say not.
But, Pa, maybe I can help. I can handle an engine just as good as you can.
Don't be pressing me, boy. Where's my hat?
Here you are, Matt.
Will we have to wait for the soldiers, Herb?
Well, they're loading up now. Close to 500 of them.
Golly, that's going to be pretty hard to pull up that mountain grade.
Well, it has to be done, Matt. You ready?
Uh-huh. Goodbye, honey. We'll likely be home by tomorrow night.
Oh, Matt, please take care of yourself.
Bye, Pa.
We better hurry, Matt.
Okay, come on.
The major says we got to be in Dover by tomorrow morning.
You've got steam up, you say?
Oh, steam up and everything set. All you have to do is open the throttle.
Gosh, you weren't wrong when you said there were close to 500 soldiers going.
Well, the major's taking nearly every man in the fort.
If he gets the hawk, it's a good thing.
Oh, here's the major now. Major, here's Matt.
Are you ready to start? We need to pull out in 30 seconds. I'll give the order.
Climb in, Matt.
Here, I'll give you a hand. This is going to be a ride to remember.
Captain Dudley, tell those men to get in the car. Sergeant, see to those arms.
You watching for the signal to highball?
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, the major sounds like he means business. And when he sounds like that, the hawk better watch out.
Yep,
We're ready. Let's get going.
we'll do that. Herb, you keep the steam up.
I'll give you enough pressure to blow out the boiler.
We're on our way.
Howdy, friends.
What in the blazes?
Well, they just climbed aboard.
We've got you both covered. Keep this train running and do what we tell you, or it's a belly full of blood.
It was scarcely 15 minutes after the soldiers had left the fort when young Lieutenant Rooney, in charge of the fort the major's absence, was startled by loud voices as a masked man barged into his office.
Hey, you can't go in there.
What in blazes?
Don't try and stop me.
Put down those guns.
Not until you take me to Major Wilson.
Major Wilson isn't here. Now get out
Isn't
before
here? Where is he?
You're one of Hawk's men.
Where's the Major?
I'll tell you where. He's gone. And if there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Gone where? To Dover?
Yeah, by train. And when he gets there, he's going to wipe out your whole rotten bunch.
I'm not with the Hawk.
Don't tell me that.
I came here to warn Major Wilson of the Hawk's intentions. We've been following the Hawk ever since he crossed the border to learn his plans. And, Lieutenant, he has no more intention of attacking Dover than you do.
That's a lie. We have information
Which the Hawk supplied for his own reasons. It's a trick, Lieutenant. The Hawk sent only a few men to Dover to frighten the people, to make them think he's attacking with his full force. Right now, he's coming here by way of Eagle Pass with more than 200 men.
I don't believe it.
Listen to me. What reason would the Hawk have for attacking Dover? What he needs are arms and ammunition. With those, he can recross the border and fight the soldiers on even terms.
Well, it seems impossible.
Yeah, well, he's clever. He knows he's not safe on this side of the border. He's planned just one daring raid and then an escape.
Well, if that's true...
It is true. What's more, he sent 2 men here ahead of him. They probably came here to look over the ground to see if his trick worked.
Where are those men?
Tonto went into town to check on them while I came here.
Tonto?
A friend of mine, an Indian.
We'll pick up those men. If you're telling the truth, the major will have to be told about it and brought back here. You say the Hawk is at Eagle Pass right now?
He is.
Thank heaven. There's still time to get the soldiers back. Orderly, we'll have to get the soldiers and...
Hey, you can't come in here.
Out of my way. It's okay. He's with me. Tonto! The 2 men, did you follow them?
Me got there too late. Them get on train.
What's that?
Me not see them. Other fellow see 'em. Them get in engine.
Major Wilson and the soldiers are on the train and the outlaws are in the engine?
But what can be done?
If we knew their plans. Tonto, the train has to climb a steep grade to get to Dover.
That right.
Well, that train won't be able to travel at full speed. Scout could get you to Dover almost as soon as the train. You're going to ride to Dover. Perhaps the 2 men we saw get into the cab weren't the outlaws.
Tonto think they are.
I'm afraid you're right, but if the soldiers arrive in Dover safely, give Major Wilson the message to return.
Tonto do that, Kemo Sabe.
It'll be morning in a few hours. Lieutenant.
Yes?
We don't know why those 2 men boarded the train. Perhaps there's a branch line between here and Dover. They might plan on forcing the engine crew to sidetrack the soldiers and delay them long enough to allow the Hawk to attack and get away.
There is a branch line. It goes to Dawson.
Your men are equipped with heliographs, aren't they? Mirrors to reflect the sun and send signals?
Of course.
Well, then get one for Tonto.
But what's he going to do?
Well, if he finds the soldiers have been sidetracked, he can tell us. He'll be in the mountains. It'll be easy for him to send the message and for us to receive it.
You're right.
Yes, then we'll know what happened. Then we can make our plans. Now hurry, so Tonto can get on his way.
Throughout the night, the train toiled up the steepest grade of the mountain, the tracks lining the sheer cliffs on one side and a drop-off of 1,000 feet on the other. During all that time, Matt and Herb are conscious of the unwavering guidance of the two outlaws that stand over them.
There's no use you pretending. We know you fellas are with the Hawk.
But you won't get away with it.
We're doing well enough. You'll be better off if you pay attention to your work than I can be here.
We getting pretty close to Dover?
Couldn't be more than 25 miles or so.
And just how do you sidewinders think you're going to get away from the soldiers after we reach town?
That's just it. The soldiers ain't going there.
What do you mean?
Now, don't get anxious. There's passenger cars kept there on the track in Dover, right?
Oh, there always is.
Ooh, that's just fine. They'll be coming in handy, all right. Our boss sent some of our parts. Make sure all the folks in Dover think we was nearby.
You mean they ain't?
If they was, nobody would know about it until it was too late.
Ooh, the Hawks marching on the 4th this very minute. We'll use those cars in Dover. We'll use them. Pick up our parts and meet the Hawk back at the fort. By the time we get back, he'll likely have took it over.
You won't get away with it.
Keep your big mouth shut.
Hey, is it time to stop the train?
I don't know, Luke. I can look. Looks like as good a place as anywhere.
Stop the train? What for?
Don't ask so many questions.
But I tell you...
When I tell you to stop, if any soldier pokes his head out the window, you tell him nothing's wrong.
But you can't get away with this.
Stop this train!
You better do as they say, Matt. These fellas ain't the kind that hesitate about shooting.
But to stop us on this grade, we'd never be able to get started again.
We'll worry about that. You just follow orders.
You fellas must be plumb loco.
Now, Luke, don't argue with them anymore.
I'm stopping.
Now stick your pretty little head out the cabin. Tell those fellas nothing's wrong.
Matt, what did you stop for?
That ain't nothing, Major. We'll be on our way in a minute.
Very well, but don't delay us.
Well, was he outside the train?
No, he just shouted from the window.
Now climb out of this cab, fellas. I've just got one more thing for y'all to do. You'll find it downright easy.
Steady, old boy. We should be getting Tonto's signals soon. If there's anything that's delayed him... Wait! What's that? A light signal. Silver, old boy, it's Tonto! Whoa, Silver. Lieutenant!
Any signal from your friend, Tonto?
Lieutenant, the Hawk has done something I didn't even think he was capable of.
Yeah?
Well, the train has stopped 8 miles this side of Dover.
There's no branch line at that point.
The train stopped and the Hawk's 2 men uncoupled the train cars from the train.
You mean the train cars?
I mean the train cars are loose and rolling away down the grade. When they jump the tracks, every man inside will fall to his death.
The curtain falls on the first part of our thrilling Lone Ranger drama. Before our next exciting scenes, Please permit us to pause for just a few moments.
Hi, kids. I'm so excited. I just got my Lone Ranger and Tonto shake-up mug. You know, all of us Lone Ranger fans who drink sweet chocolate-flavored Ovaltine can drink it in the new Lone Ranger shake-up mug free. And boy, are they beauties. Wait till you see them. They come in 2 colors, a bright green and a beautiful scarlet. And every mug has a big picture of the Lone Ranger and Tonto right on the front. These shaker-up kits make it really easy to make your own favorite Ovaltine chocolate drink. No need to ask Mom to make it for you. When you put the top on, it makes a great way to shake up and mix your favorite sweet Ovaltine chocolate drink. Then, when you take the bright blue top off, you've got a drinking mug that holds a great creamy Ovaltine shake, ready for you to drink. What fun you'll find with your new shaker-upper, playing the shake-up game and having shake-up parties and making a picnic out of every meal. Think of having a wonderful shake-up drink anytime you want it. The Lone Ranger and Tonto want all of their fans to have one of these shake-up mugs, and I know each and every one of you will want to have your very own. And even though the regular price is only 50 cents, the Lone Ranger will want you to have your very own for free. Really? So here's how. Sit down after tonight's exciting adventure and print your name and address on a piece of paper. Send it along with that thin foil seal that's under the lid of the sweet chocolate Ovaltine and mail it to the Lone Ranger in New York City, New York. That's where he really is. The Lone Ranger will send you your very own shake-up mug. Now don't put it off. Ask Mom to get you a jar of sweet Ovaltine chocolate right now. Do it. Remove the thin foil seal and send it in. Mail it to the Lone Ranger, New York City, New York. I've got mine. Now you get yours today. Bye.
Now continuing with our story, the Lone Ranger has just received the startling news from Tonto that railroad cars carrying 500 soldiers were hurtling down the mountainside unchecked. He brought the news to Lieutenant Rooney at the fort.
Every man will be killed. Every last man.
Listen to me, Lieutenant. Listen to me. How many men do you have here at the fort?
What difference does that make?
How many men do you have here?
Only 15.
Well, the Hawk will be here in only a few hours. Send your men into town, warn the townspeople, and get every man, woman, and child inside the fort.
We'll never be able to hold out.
You can for a while. I don't have a second to explain. Just do as you're told. Get those people inside the fort.
At once.
Let's go, Silver!
Have you heard anything about the soldiers yet, son?
Not a word, but don't worry, Ma.
Oh, I'm not worried. I just can't sit still.
Aw, shucks. You know the safest place to be is right where Pa is with the soldiers. And as for getting word, you know as well as I do, ain't no word till the train gets back.
Oh, I suppose I'm being foolish.
Well, of course you are. Oh, Ma, look out! There's a masked man! Oh.
That's my son! What are you doing? Mister! Dale! Mister, what are you doing?
Don't worry, he won't be harmed.
Get your hands off!
Come
Let
on,
me
up in
be.
that saddle with you.
You won't get away with this, masked man.
Come on, Silver, old boy, let's go.
What's the big idea? What's all this for?
Sorry, Dale, to have frightened your mother. I didn't have time to explain. This is a matter of life and death. I'm told by Mary Wilson that you can run a locomotive.
Well, of course I can, but not to help no outlaw.
I'm not an outlaw. This mask is on the side of law and order. Now, do you think Mary Wilson would have told an outlaw that you're able to run a train? We need to save the lives of 500 men. Now, get up in that engine. Mary says you're the only man in town who can run it. Now get in that cab.
In the meantime, obeying the Lone Ranger's instructions, Lieutenant Rooney sent his men and the townspeople to the fort. In a frenzy of fear and confusion, thrown into panic by the dreaded name of the hawk, the townspeople gathered their families, loaded their possessions into carts, wagons, and across the saddles of their horses, into and onto anything available. For hours, a steady stream of wagons, horses, and carts covered the short distance between the town and the fort. All of the fort was in chaos as first baggage was strewn throughout the fort. Wagons and untied horses got in everyone's way. Children were lost, and frantic mothers searched for them. Men kept themselves busy with useless, self-appointed tasks. But at length, the discipline of the small body of soldiers prevailed, and a measure of order was finally restored.
Get those horses out of the way and put those children in the barracks. All the men are to stand by for orders, and the women make ready to load the guns. Sergeant, have ammunition brought from the magazine.
Lieutenant,
Well, what is it?
look over there. Down the trail. Don't you see anything?
Horsemen. It's the Hawk and his men. This is the time the masked man said they would be here.
Oh, Lieutenant, they'll kill all of us.
Not before they've known they've been in a fight. Men, to the stockades. Make ready for an attack.
With a head of steam in the boiler and Dale at the throttle, the engine taken by the Lone Ranger raced from town and up the mountainside. While he fed wood into the firebox of the engine, the Lone Ranger explained his purpose to the young man.
Oh, so that's why you made me come along.
Yes, Dale. We may lose our lives in the effort, but it certainly is worth it if we can save the lives of 500 men.
I'm glad you made me do it.
I knew you'd feel that way once you understood. But I wouldn't have hesitated even if I had known you wouldn't. There's too much at stake.
Oh, I sure hope those cars don't jump the track before we get to them.
There's nothing we can do about that.
Do you think them crooks killed Pa and Herb?
I don't know. Tonto was nearby, and if there was any way to prevent it, he would have done it.
You said Tonto.
Yes, I did.
I've heard that name before, but I just can't seem to place it.
Perhaps you have, but that doesn't matter right now. All that matters is we get to those runaway cars as fast as we can.
Oh, only problem is them coming towards us and we going towards them. If we don't see them in time, ain't like there's going to be enough of us left to know who we was.
The railroad cars gathered speed as they rolled down the tracks, cars leaping from side to side, threatening to leave the tracks and plunge into the forbidden canyon. Inside the cars, the soldiers were paralyzed with fear. There wasn't a man among them that didn't realize that they could be doomed to certain death. And all the time, the engine taken by Dale and the railroad cars containing the 500 soldiers were racing towards each other. At the fort, too, the townspeople with a small body of soldiers expected only death at the hands of the Hawk and his cutthroat criminals.
Are all the men armed?
All the guns and ammunition have been passed around, and the men are ready and waiting for your orders.
Don't fire until I give the word.
Yes, sir.
How many of them are there?
Not more than 200.
Is there anything I can do?
There is. Have some of the women make up bandages. The others stand by with ammunition. Our guns must be loaded as fast as they are emptied. And Mary?
Yes?
The most important thing you can do is to keep the women from becoming panicked.
Well, shucks. The women are no more frightened than the men are, and I'll see to the bandages and all the bullets.
The Hawk! He's getting ready to attack! Men, get ready to fire! Make every bullet count! Take aim! Fire!
There it is, fellas. Pay no attention to their shooting. There ain't no more soldiers in there than a dozen men, and the townspeople don't count. Are you ready? Let's take them. We'll wipe out the whole blasted bunch of them. Let's go!
Okay, we've got a full head of steam now. We should be coming up to them any minute.
Oh, if they haven't jumped the track yet, stick your head out the window, will ya? Come around the corner, you'll be able to see better than me. Do you see them?
Well, hold on a second. We're coming up to that straight stretch. Yes, I see them. They're coming now. Get ready to stop and put her in reverse when I tell you.
Oh, I sure hope they don't catch us before we get turned around.
Well, if they do, we'll never know it. Get ready, Dale, okay? Throw it in reverse. Easy now. Okay, now back this train up and head towards town.
You gotta give me more steam.
You've got it.
They held us off that time, but they won't do it again. Load up your guns again and get ready for another charge. Our men should be coming back from Dover. I told them we'd be inside the fort by the time they got there, and that's one promise I intend on keeping. Come on, and when I say the word, follow me!
Was that the sound of a train?
It sure was.
And there it is again. But I don't understand. The masked man said those cars had been uncoupled.
Perhaps the masked man had some plan.
I don't see what he could have done to prevent the crash.
The Hawk, he's getting ready to attack again. I'm afraid we won't be able to hold him off much longer.
Oh, we've got to hold him off. We've just got to.
What are all those people shouting about?
Oh, it's my father and all of his men. How in the blazes did they do it?
I don't know. Watch out! The Hawk! He's charging! Every man to his station! Fire at will! Hold off the Hawk!
Bewildered by the presence of the soldiers they thought dead, the outlaw army fell into confusion. But there was no escape for them with the fort on one side and the advancing soldiers on the other. At length, the Hawk and his followers, seeing themselves in danger of being killed to the last man, threw away their guns, and the victory was won. While the outlaws were being held inside the fort by the major and his men, Bess Badger spoke to the Lone Ranger.
What happened to Matt, mister? Where is he?
I'm sorry, I can't say.
Ma!
Dale, you're back. Are you okay, son?
Yeah, Ma, I'm fine.
Kemo Sabe. Whoa, Scout. Whoa.
Wait! There's Tonto with 2 men. Tonto, you made it back!
Matt, oh, honey, it's you.
Pa, you're wounded?
Yeah, it ain't nothing much. Just what those fellas did to me when Herb and I refused to uncouple the train.
They shot you?
Yeah, they shot me, but then knocked Herb out. Then they uncoupled the cars and jumped in the engine and took it on to Dover to get the rest of their parts.
Yeah, they seem to know how to handle an engine all right.
Wait, they went to Dover to get the rest of their men?
Yeah, they were going to pick them up and then come back here.
Lieutenant!
Yes, sir.
This man has information that the rest of the Hawks men will be coming back here, thinking that their men have captured the fort. You can take some men to the train station and capture the rest of them. Then you'll have the last of the worst killers this country has ever known.
Thank you, stranger, but I don't understand how you were able to get us here.
Well, Dale deserves all the credit for that. He can tell you better than I can.
My Dale?
Did you have a hand in saving the soldiers, son?
Aw, shucks, I just done what the masked man told me. We went up the tracks in another engine till we caught sight of the other cars.
Well, go on.
And when we seen them, we started backing up just as fast as we could. We were only going about 4 or 5 miles an hour slower than the cars were, so when they hit us, the bump didn't amount to much.
Oh, son.
After that, there wasn't much left to it. We just slowed down, and the cars slowed down with us. Then we came back to town with all them soldiers.
And saved us the fort.
Dale, you are a railroad man by thunder, and you're a better one than your old pa.
Aw, shucks, but hey, where'd the masked man go? I wanted to thank him, and we didn't even get his name.
Oh, gee, Dale, don't you know who that was? That's the Lone Ranger. Here, he gave this silver bullet to me to give just to you.
Hi-oh, Silver! Away! Let's go, Silver. We're headed to Boonville. There's justice to be done. Hi-oh, Silver! Away!